This is the Daily Dystopia News Network. Reality reported before it collapses.
Good evening. If today's headlines feel like satire written by a bored supervillain, that's because subtlety has officially retired. Welcome to the Daily Dystopia. Breathe once. That's all you get.
The Golden Fleet, gleaming, gilded, and bristling with more firepower than a reasonable person can conjure in a nightmare. These ships promise hypersonic speed, nuclear payloads, and, apparently, a finishing polish that can double as a vanity mirror. Watch the missiles rise.
Another tanker, another pursuit, another reminder that sanctions float best with warships nearby. On radar, the icon glows amber. On the water, it is steel, rust, and a slow turn south. Venezuelan crews call it commerce. The Coast Guard calls it a seizure. From the Caribbean...
Nothing says strategic diplomacy like appointing a swamp state governor to an Arctic island. The White House has tapped Louisiana's chief executive to serve as special envoy to Greenland. Yes, the place with more polar bears than people. On paper, it sounds like mixing gumbo with glacial meltwater, but officials say the governor's energy...
30 ambassadors recalled overnight because continuity is apparently a threat to national branding. One by one, their faces blinked off the map. Paris, Brasilia, Abuja, Seoul. The count kept falling like someone was unplugging the world. By dawn, the icons were gone.
Exhausted compromise and nobody admitting fault. We're open again. Duct tape flickering and wobbling in the wind, but open. People are already back inside, sipping, disagreeing, figuring it out, just like always.
When culture meets ego, Congress suddenly remembers it exists. Tonight, the Kennedy Center's famous facade is flickering between its historic name and a proposed rebrand backed by one very wealthy donor, who also happens to be suing the board for rejecting it. The lawsuit claims the patron's $100 million...
Transparency arrives, slowly, heavily redacted, illegible, when dragged by subpoena. Chris P. Details, reporting.
Federal power versus state resistance, now streaming in court. I'm Callie Scope in Chicago, where the Department of Justice has filed suit against Illinois over its new immigration law, Senate Bill 2255. The state measure limits cooperation with federal...
Tonight, thousands of asylum seekers thought they'd finally get their day in court. And then, watch this. These are live court dockets. Scroll, and the cases just disappear. 8,000 of them, according to new federal data. No hearings, no rulings, just erased. Officials call it docket management. Advocates call it abandonment.
Behind me, pieces of what was once a medical transport plane are scattered across this pasture. Investigators tell us it went down just after sunset while on approach to Brady, carrying 2 crew members and a patient. Tonight, all 3 families are grieving. No politics.
Streets here in Sonoma County have turned to rivers once again. This is the 4th so-called once-in-a-generation storm we've covered this year. Residents are paddling where they used to parallel park, power lines hum inches above the current, and the ground just can't drink any more water.
Tonight marks 11 months since the first case in this wave was confirmed. Vaccination rates have fallen to just 68% nationwide, down 12 points since June, and measles has found the gap. More than 3,200 people have been diagnosed this year, a 14% jump from...
The economy is sprinting. GDP up 4.3% in the last quarter. Wall Street loves it. Stocks climbing like they're on a caffeine drip. But back at the grocery store, that loaf of bread just winked at you and added 10 cents. Eggs, milk, lettuce, still creeping higher. And your paycheck, flat as the Kansas plain.
The reform. Quiet, gated, and available with premium paperwork. This discreet boutique in Al Khobar is one of the first places in the kingdom where non-Muslim residents and travelers can legally purchase...
Loyalty lasts until tax incentives enter the chat. Case in point, behind me, the entire Chiefs Stadium is being rolled across the state line like a shopping cart full of trophies. Missouri said tradition, Kansas said 10-year property tax holiday, and here we are. Engineers swear it'll be game day ready by next...
Another needle? Not anymore. The newest weight loss med just got the green light, and it's a chewable tablet. Same active ingredients, same results, minus the poke. FDA approved once a day, easy to take with or without food. Think minty, not medicinal. Capitalism... Today reminded us that power moves fast, accountability moves slow, and the truth usually arrives late, but it still arrives. Rest. Remember. Resist the urge to normalize any of this.